G'day beaks and beaks to be. Are you curious about learning more about beekeeping? I have been a beekeeper for over 55 years and rearing queen bees since the 1980s. Checking on the progress of my 4 nukes at home. The Baker's dozen, we've got a queen laying in that one. It's been laying for some time and I've just marked and clipped her. This is another double nuke. I'm just going to check to see whether the queen is laying as yet or whether it's they're just about due for the queen to start laying. This particular nuke was made queenless around about nearly a month ago. Because it's a double, I checked to see if they're not putting too much nectar in the bottom super when I do my rounds. At this point in time, this particular hive does not have an excluder. So I will put one on before the queen starts laying eggs. The second frame is always the first frame that is taken out when I first go into any particular 4-frame nuke. I never take the outside frame because the queen could be there and the queen could be killed in an instant. Even though this is a queenless hive, I still do the same practice, as if you don't, you will find that you will do the same thing in a queen right hive and then lose your queen. A lot of beaks say to me that they've lost their queen, but in fact, in lots of cases, the queen has been killed by the beekeeper. All the cells here have been polished, so I'd say the queen is going to start laying very shortly. Here I am trying to get a little bit of sunlight into the bottom of the cells. It just makes it that much easier for when you're looking for eggs to be able to see those little white, very small grains. Yes, we have a queen. I have just looking at eggs, and I'll now put the frame back in and put the hive back together again and put an excluder on. When putting the last frame in, if you just put the frame in slightly and rock the top so that you push the other frames apart, that last frame will go in that much more easily. The brood rearing mat is now being placed. An excluder is put on all my hives, whether they're nukes or honey production hives, so that the queen lays a lot more compactly in the one super. In the honey supers, frames can be pulled out a lot quicker than the ones in the brood super because there's no queen there to kill. Here I'm just checking for honey to make sure that they have sufficient food for their needs during the winter time. Before the lid is placed, a beetle trap is put in between the 2 frames with a cover on top so that the bees won't popularise the gaps in the beetle trap up. I have no fixed sheeting on my lids. All my rain hoods / lids are separate so that they are individual when putting them on, and also they are interchangeable with any other hive in the apiary. There were only about a dozen eggs that the queen had laid. This particular nuke is now complete, and we'll not check it for around about another 30 days in the brood super, only do the finger test to see if they've got sufficient stores. This 5-frame nuke, I am having a look to see if there is any queen laying. I have found a lot of polished cells, but I have not seen any queen or seen any eggs. So I'll be putting the whole lot back together again and rechecking this particular nuke in 5 to 7 days time to see if I can find any eggs and if we have a queen laying. Putting on a queen excluder so as to keep the queen down below. Just going to do a quick check on this little nuke. See whether we've got a queen laying or not. Not a lot of bees in this one, it's only a single newt. Nothing on the other side there. There you are, we've got a queen. There's the queen there. It's a new queen, she's just starting to lay by the look of it. Right, so we've got 2 queens laying out of 3, plus the baker's dozen.